This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, this is Chase from Barrel Age Flicks. Go ahead and check out our Patreon for raw, uncut footage and early access to all of our episodes. The link is in the description, and it's only $5 a month. Thanks for listening.
I was flying. It was so real. It was over this giant circuit board or something.
You know, I had a dream that I was naked at school. I had to hide in the bathroom. It was terrible.
Elephantitis is when something gets bloated and ugly, like your ass.
You don't learn, do you? Cut it out, Jackson.
Now, what we have here, as near as I can tell, is an electrically generated wind force. What? By typing in coordinates, I can make it move anywhere in 3 dimensions. Even as far as slamming it through a few books or brick wall.
If we had something to sit in, all 3 of us could fly around in this thing. We can look atop of the girls' gym.
We could call it the Einstein. Now that's a great name.
Oh, come on. How about the Thunder Road? It's from a Bruce Springsteen song.
It's not bad.
Not bad, it's perfect.
Oh, come on, check. Let's go. Wait. Supplies. We need supplies. Before we go, we need
Supplies. Check.
Are you nuts? Oh,
Everything.
come on.
Let's go.
You nuts. Are you crazy? We need to go. Come on. I had it turned up a little too high. But that's okay. We can still go.
Finally. You feel it too.
Well, it's working okay now. Now let's go back.
Oh, come on.
on.
Not yet. Hey, let's see some more.
Yeah, open her up. Let's see what you can do.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We are going where no man has gone before.
Hey everybody, this is Barrel Age Flicks. I'm Lenny, yeah man, and this is...
Hey, this is Ron. Let's drink and talk some movies.
We also have...
What's going on, you fucking nerds? This is Tyler. Let's talk about some modern mythology.
And finally...
This is Stu. Let's drink, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. So today we're talking about a very nostalgic movie that is one of those family-friendly movies called Explorers.
I'm so ready for this shit. I was about to drink my drink.
Yeah, dude. So I had very vague memories of this movie as a kid, and then Ron went ahead and made this one of his picks. So, of course, having done that, we had to watch it, and I'm glad he picked it, man, because quite frankly, it was great, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But as always, we're going to start off with our drink, and Ron, balls in your court.
Yeah, we are going to be drinking a beer called Galaxy. It's a pale ale. Yeah, the reason why I picked this beer is because the can kind of reminded me with the colors, because the colors kind of like a blue and a black, and it's got a picture of Galaxy, and it just, I felt like it would fit for this movie.
It's a beautiful can, man. I'm going to give it to you. The label's really nice.
Yeah, it's from a company called Ballad Brewing. It's an unfiltered pale ale and a solo voyage for the Galaxy hop, featuring flavors like passion fruit, peach, and citrus coming from generous whirlpool of dry hop additions.
Hold on, you just caught my attention. All right.
So I'm really curious how this is. So you guys ready?
Let's crack this bitch.
All right, let's go. Oh, fuck, I just got it.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. Wow. I like this beer.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Kind of reminds me of...
Dude, I wish... Eventually we're going to have to video record these fucking podcasts because the look on y'all's faces was fucking great.
Was it just mine or was it everybody's?
No, you and Tyler almost in unison were like, making this face.
I always seem to pick the fucking shitty beers. I'm not going to lie.
I'll second that.
Oh, okay. This was bitter, and I felt like it tasted a very grapefruit. It tasted exactly like that hamster wheel shit that we did for the War of the Worlds small batch.
No, it tastes totally different than hamster
You
wheel.
think so? Because that's what it felt like.
No.
Huh. All right. Stu, what do you got, man?
Well, no, hold on. I got to say
he's going to shit on it some more.
It's bitter. Not a fan of it. I'm going to finish the can, but no, I'm not a fan of this. I got to pick some better beer. I swear to God.
All right, Ballad Brewery. I'm sorry on behalf of my friend. He's fucking shitting all over your beer right now. Spicy boner. Punishment shot. Punishment shot. Go ahead and pour it. Fucking punishment shot.
Okay.
I said the wrong fucking.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Punishment shot. I'm a man of fucking honor. You didn't even catch it. I caught it. Fucking pour it.
Okay. Shit. I'll take it. Another
Tyler,
shot.
what do you think? Fuck.
Punishment number 3.
No, it's punishment number 1.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If this episode, yeah.
I don't know if
Counting's hard, Ron.
Shut up.
Numbers are hard.
All right, go ahead.
borderline punishment shot for Ron.
Are you calling it for a vote or not? Because remember,
Seriously,
if you get
come
voted
on.
down,
I'm calling for a vote.
all right. If you get based on our rules, you get voted down. You taking the shot.
Oh god damn it.
So, are you calling for a vote?
You know what? No, it's too loose. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
You're safe, bearded one, this time. All right, Tyler, what do you got?
No, I mean it's okay. I was just trying to figure out like what the IBU was because it's definitely very 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 bitter. It's not nearly as fruity as the hamster wheel, but it definitely has like that. It's a pretty typical IPA. I don't know what about this is supposed to be Galaxy or whatever, aside from the picture on the can.
I think they just do it for the picture, just to make it looks nice, so it's going to taste nice. Probably, maybe that's probably the whole thing.
Yeah,
They trick you into
I
thinking it's
do
going to taste
like
good.
the color though. Looking at it in the glass.
Yeah, I mean it's got
That's a nice
it's got a
color.
hazy, unfiltered sort of look to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a very very thick froth to it. But beyond that, it's really just kind of another IPA. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. One thumbs up. It's just in that it's not total dog shit, but it's okay. It's just another IPA.
2 thumbs down for me. How about you, Stu?
I'll give it 1 thumbs up. It's something I'm going to specifically go out and buy. No.
Yeah.
But if it's sitting in somebody's fridge and I'm offered to it, yeah, I'll drink it.
Okay.
It's forgettable. There ain't nothing special about it.
So if you were to pick the hamster wheel on this, you'd pick this one.
Probably.
Yeah. Down with that.
How about you, Lenny?
It's 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Not a huge fan. Definitely not going to go reaching in the fridge for it. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I definitely let's put it this way. When I took my swig, I immediately kind of was able to identify some of the fruit flavors in there, and I was like, oh, well, that's not bad. It's got a nice little, And as I'm doing that, I'm looking at these 2 fucking guys, and they're like, because they traditionally fucking hate anything sweet and alcohol at the same time. So, yeah, I'll give it 1 thumbs up. If someone handed it to me at a party, I'd be like, all right, I'll drink it, sure. Am I going to go reaching for it in the cooler? Nah, probably going to go for a Guinness. But that's
If there's
me.
something else there, you're not going to choose it.
But hey, if anyone's listening that is related to and or works for Ballad Brewing, kudos on the can design because the label's really really pretty.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I mean, when you go down the aisle of all the beers and everything, there's a lot of great arts on these cans. I mean, and that's what they do is they kind of like attract you, like buy me because they look so nice.
Yeah, because you don't honestly know if it's going to taste good or if it's going to like dog shit until you open it and you try it. So
Right.
it's that art where it's the design on the can that's going to like draw your attention. Go, well, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. My next movie, I'm going back to the liquor roots because I'm kind of getting burnt out on the beer, so I'm going to go back to liquor. But overall, yeah, that's probably our review. So let's go ahead and get into the movie.
What I like
Hell
is my
yeah.
wife does for me is she'll go to the store and she'll pick up one of those mix and match 6-packs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
and just
those,
grab 6 different beers, stuff that I've never tried before.
And sometimes they're winners and losers,
sometimes
basically.
they're good, sometimes they're bad.
Yeah.
And if they're good, then I know, hey, cool,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and buy them again.
You find a gem and you're like, oh fuck, that's really good,
Yeah.
and then to grab it.
Versus
next time.
just walking down the aisles and stuff like that and basing it solely on looks. At least this way, I'll invest in a beer versus a whole 6-pack that could taste like fucking piss.
Yes.
I will say this: if any of you guys ever try to feature a seltzer, you're doing a punishment shot before we even fucking try the seltzer.
Oh,
That's becoming a trend right now, and I'm like, what? Why, dude?
Yeah.
Why? Who the fuck is going? Oh, sparkling water with a hint of beer. It's so good. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of grown men drinking like these hard seltzers, and I'm just
Or
like,
the hard water. What is that?
Yeah.
hard water
White
called?
Claws.
Yeah, White Claw. That's
Woolies.
About as far as I'll go, I've had.
yeah.
I don't mind a good hard cider every now and then, but like the White Claws, now they have Bud Light seltzers, Bud Light Platinum seltzers, fucking Coors, like
Corona's got
Corona.
their own, yeah.
Corona's got a
fuck off.
seltzer?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
like, get
my
the
God,
fuck
I'm
out of here.
disappointed.
See, no, I
I'm
like
disappointed.
beer taste. I like Guinness. Guinness has been something that I've been really growing fond of. I love Guinness, and when it comes to like light beer, Miller Lite and stuff like that. And Samuel Adams Oktoberfest is one of my all-time favorite fall beers. I love that beer. And there's some good pumpkin beers out there that I enjoy.
Yeah, well, you like the Sam Summer, right?
That's some good shit right there. You should have brought some more bottles of that.
Summer. No, I drank
I'm gonna tell you right now, when we do our October movies, whatever movie I choose, Sam Adams Jacko is going to be my beer of choice.
I hate you so much.
It's so good. Fuck off.
So this pumpkin spice basic bitch over here.
Oh yeah.
There's a cat. What is it? It's like a pumpkin. It's a barrel with a pumpkin.
PSL for life.
Rum or something like that. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get to the movie.
Yeah, man, let's do it, Ron.
All right, guys. This is one of my favorite movies as a child. I fucking love this movie. Me and my brother both had my mom get this at the rental store over and over again. I even talked about it in our last Blockbuster episode. I fucking love this movie. It's Explorers is a 1985 American science fantasy film written by Eric Luke and directed by the great Joe Dante, a former protege of the sleazy producer of the 70s and 60s, Roger Corman. You know Roger Corman, guys. You know his movies. Where he always has to put sex and violence in his movies, and they're horrible acting and special effects.
Well, it's the 70s.
Yes, but it was great. Joe Dante is a great director, and the movies that he's done, Piranha, The Howling, Gremlins, a Christmas classic, Inner Space. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all seen Inner Space, yes. He did a segment, The Good Life, in The Twilight Zone, the movie. He did The Burbs, another great movie.
Oh, dude, The Burbs was the shit.
Matinee, Gremlins 2.
I forgot he did Matinee. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, he did that one.
Matinee, with John Candy.
Yeah.
That was fucking brilliant.
John Goodman.
John Goodman, John Goodman. My bad.
Both fat dudes named John. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. See, the two fat guys that are white that are named John. It's hard to distinct the two.
So racist.
So Joe Dante he puts a lot of things back to the movies that he grew up with in the 50s and 60s during the atom bomb era and all that stuff, all the monster movies like War of the Worlds and everything. But this movie was based off the same movies like The Goonies, Flight of the Navigator, Monster Squad, E.T., the horrible fucking Mac and Me from fucking McDonald's, Invaders from Space.
Mac and Me, I liked that movie when I was a kid. You shut your mouth.
So Steven Spielberg basically made E.T., and that movie was such a hit, so Paramount wanted to get in the line and basically make a movie sort of like that. So they got Joe Dante to do this movie. He was basically a director for hire for this movie called Explorers. About basically a quick synopsis of this film, it's three boys that are dreamers. One of them is a dreamer, one of them is more of like a scientist, and the other one is kind of like what would you say, like an outcast
comes from a broken home, kind of rebel kind of kid,
and basically they get like contacted from aliens and to the point where they get like a technology in order to build like a spear where they can actually travel into space and see them. And I love
sphere, not spear.
Sphere,
not sphere.
Sphere.
It's a
The
spear.
aliens are having them build a spear.
It's a spear. It gets thrown in the air and then they go and they find other planets. It's a sphere, like a circle or a ball.
Okay.
He's like, I fucking hate you guys.
All right. Well, thank you. But overall,
is your pone turned down?
Shut up. All right. So overall, they build this spaceship, which is one of my favorite looks of a spaceship from three kids. I mean, I'm just got to ask you kids, when you were kids, did you ever dream of wanting to explore, to go into space, to build something, to get out there, be on your own and everything?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the house that I grew up in, we had my grandfather was an electrician. My dad ran a decking company. And so we always had spare wire, spare lumber around the house. And me and my brother would actually would take the lumber, we'd actually build airplanes with the lumber. Building the cross sections and everything like that, fuselage and the wings and everything, and it was not meant for flight at all because we didn't understand aviation or aerodynamics at all.
Yeah.
However, but there was obviously something in us that wanted us to explore and to travel, to explore the cosmos and really kind of see what's out there.
Yes. How about you, Stu?
Absolutely. I think that is a core being of a human, is the wanting to go out there to the unknown and figure it out and experience that, especially as a male. That is what we are designed and engineered to do, is to go out there and explore.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the heart of childhood right there.
How about you, Lenny?
Oh man, I was all about sitting in my room and staring at the wall. I don't know about you guys.
Makes a lot of sense. Really does.
No, so not so much like outer space per se, but
Did you
like
eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
why? No, I definitely was very much into adventure, like the movie Goonies, or like Stand By Me, where like they go off in the woods.
Which Stand By Me has an actor that is in this movie.
Yes.
Which I'm going to go ahead and talk about right now is the casting process for the three boys. This is, if anybody knows Ethan Hawke, of course, this was his debut role. His first ever role. Yes, this was his first role.
I didn't know it was his debut. That's fucking cool.
Yes, it was.
That is weird to get literally a starring role in a major film for your first role.
Yes,
Yeah,
but the thing is, the movie was such a flop to the point where he was even made fun of at school because the movie didn't do well at all and everything else. And he didn't get anywhere, but then he started getting roles a couple years later. But then you also had actors like the late River Phoenix, which I thought he portrayed Wolfgang amazing. I thought he did a great job. And the thing is, Wolfgang wanted to be the role of Ben, because the three boys are named Ben, Darren, and Wolfgang. Wolfgang is hilarious. Comes from a German family. But River Phoenix wanted to be casted as Ben. He did not want to be casted as this little geeky character. But Joe Dante thought that he had so much range that he wanted him to be Wolfgang. So he gave his 100%, but he was not happy about it. In fact, the female actress that played, what's her name? Swanson or something like that.
So Laurie Swanson's character was played by Amanda Peterson.
Yes, Amanda Peterson, and he did not want this role wearing like a geek with glasses and everything else, but he did so well that it did it perfectly.
Yeah, he played like the geeky character, but and I'm glad that they made him play the geeky character because he already he had done Stand By Me by the time this movie came out. Correct?
He did it afterwards.
He did it after?
Yes.
Because he did Stand By Me and he got to play that rebellious like bad kid.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be Darren's character. So, and then this kid doesn't get enough billing. Jason Preston played Darren, and I thought he did great. He never gets any top billing at all. But he's actually my favorite character out of the three boys. But, and you want to know other actors that tried to be casted for Ben were both the Corey both Corys Feldman, and also Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie in the Christmas Story.
You know what I was going to say is I want to say the girl who is like the main Ethan Hawke's character's crush,
Laurie Swanson.
Laurie Swanson. She actually ended up in real life like growing up and dating Corey Feldman. And it's fucking tragic, man, because just like a lot of other kids from that era, like she became like literally like addicted to meth and crack. If you look at pictures of her, she's beautiful. Like when she was a little girl, she's really pretty. And then like she grew up to be a really beautiful young lady. And then shortly after that, dude, there are pictures that show her fucking spiral of mugshots where she just becomes someone that's completely unrecognizable, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking tragic.
Yeah, that sucks. Man. But overall, I thought the casting process of the three boys went perfectly. And I got to ask you guys, out of the three boys, what is your favorite character? Which one do you feel like you more related to as a younger kid?
Probably Wolfgang.
Really? Yep. Wolfgang. Now tell me why.
I was really big into electronics, into computers, tearing apart stuff, building stuff on the component level like that. Even though I would go out and probably got into the level of problems as the misfit child, I was still in a lot of the advanced classes and constantly wanting to feed my curiosity and educate myself on stuff that interested me. So I'd probably, Wolfgang is the one that spoke to me, and I think River did a wonderful job.
Oh, he did a great
wonderful job being cast against type and showing that.
I think his comic timing was really good too.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace for sure, man.
Yeah, I know. That's another actor.
That was a big fucking tragedy. I was going to say, for me...
the future young Indiana Jones, too, in The Last Crusade, in the beginning scene.
Yep. Count to 10. 1, 2, in Greek. Uno, dia.
Who do you relate to?
So, for me, it was definitely Ethan Hawke's character. Because,
the dreamer?
Yeah, because as a kid, yes, I was very much into adventure, and I'm not gonna bore you guys with my childhood, but I definitely had an aspect of my childhood that was really hard, and so as a kid, I was always trying to find ways to escape and find adventure and find like a fantasy or something to get away from the shit that I was actually going through as a kid.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was constantly going out in the woods and going off and trying to find, I don't know, adventure and fun like things that I don't know, like similar to this movie. Of course, this is a movie and fantasy and it's not real, but with Ethan Hawke's character, I think the other way that I identify with him is the fact that I was definitely that kid that I was very optimistic and friendly and nice to everybody, and like like you'd have like the nerd kid that people would make fun of. I would be the kid that would befriend that kid.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely not the type of kid that would be like, "Oh, you're a nerd, don't talk to me." I would be friends with everyone on every level. Anyone that was willing to show me any ounce of kindness or respect or care, you were my friend.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I was as a kid. So I kind of identify with that personality.
See, the thing is, even though my favorite character is Darren, I actually would also be more in like with Ben's character, because I'm more of the dreamer, wanting to see what's out there, like to be like that, to be, very friendly to other kids and everything else at that time. But I more relate to that character more than anything. How about you, Tyler?
All right, man. So I really can't like line myself up with any one of these characters, because like I'm my own person. They were their own characters. Ethan Hawke, like his character of Ben, like I guess like he's like the closest one, I guess, because he's the most like normal sort of like middle of the road kind of kid, I guess. I mean, like like he had this crush. We all had a crush.
Oh yeah.
He had these aspirations. We all had aspirations, but I mean, but as far as as Wolfgang and Darren go, like they were pretty extreme cases. Like like Wolfgang wasn't just a nerd. He was a nerd bred from nerds. Like he had scientist parents.
Yeah, you can see by his father, which is
the
played
German
by the
scientist
James Cromwell. You know who James Cromwell is?
Yep.
From Revenge of the Nerds. He also played a nerd in the nerd's father in Revenge of the Nerds. He was also didn't he play Bush in the Oliver Stone movie? And he was also in the show 6 Feet Under.
I had a friend who was a giant fan of that movie, the Revenge of the Nerds. And what was the cockeyed dude's name that was like really buff with the curly hair, and he goes, "Nerds!"
That's like Ogre.
Ogre. I fucking loved that guy, man.
Yeah. So, but you can tell that how much of a geek family that really is. So overall on this movie, as we gone through the casting, I thought the three boys' chemistry was like perfect. I thought they all did a great job, especially Ben and Wolfgang together and everything else. I thought they were it was very realistic in how they acted. But they basically get a call to get this to the point where they get this technology where they can make a shield, or basically like something that they could sit in, where they can build a spaceship to go out in outer space. It's actually really cool. It's actually one of my favorite scenes of the movie when they build the spaceship, and they also even give it a great name based on a Bruce Springsteen song called Thunder Road. But the ship, I gotta say that is probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, is them building the ship, the whole montage of them, because it just shows the teamwork of these three boys and the chemistry as they're building this thing, because they make it out of a fucking tilt-a-whirl. You guys remember the tilt-a-whirls?
And it shows your a kid's imagination and what potential is there.
Yeah. What's going on?
You got to read that.
Hey, look. Hey, I'm gonna call for a punishment shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
that's worth it. It's worth it to me.
Yeah.
It's worth it to me. I will take it.
Because if it was related to what we're doing right now, whatever, like then I'd be like, we can talk about that, but it's absolutely not. So.
Nope. Yeah, but
that's a funny meme.
I vote nay. I vote yay.
I will accept. Vote not needed. Vote not needed. I accept.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a punishment shot for Stu for interrupting our fucking show with showing memes to everybody, you motherfucker.
It was a good meme. It was fucking worth it.
It was funny, but still completely off subject.
It was funny, however, completely unrelated.
It was, but
exactly.
I accept.
So hypnotic for you, brother.
I mean, you could argue that the kids in this movie probably watched Sesame Street.
Huh?
Never mind.
Yeah.
So basically, that scene where they got the tilt-a-whirl and they grab it from the junkyard, which is funny, is there's a little cameo by the Rosebud from at the junkyard from Citizen Kane. If you all did you all see that?
Yep.
The sled,
No,
Rosebud.
I didn't catch that at all, man.
Yeah, that was inside the junkyard. But they grab this tilt-a-whirl and they make it with the trash can with the fucking TV screen, and they put the computer that has the technology that they got from the aliens to build the shield around the ship. I fucking love that scene. It's just, and it shows how much that, because each of them have a certain part. One of them is the mechanic, which is more of Darren is more of the mechanic because he does like the power tools and the welder and stuff like that. Ben, he puts the space shuttle on the front of the Thunder Road because he's a dreamer. He dreams about going into space and everything else. And I forgot to talk about the scene in the beginning of the movie of the title where you could see that on his TV when he's talking to Wolfgang on the walkie-talkie, you could see the movie War of the Worlds playing in the background, if you guys noticed that.
Yes.
Yep.
But overall, great fucking scene. And
is there a niner in there?
there's a great scene. Also, the score. I love this score right here. This is the building scene and the construction. I love this score. This is a score done by Jerry Goldsmith, who has basically done all of Joe Dante's films, most of them, ever since after he passed away.
I can see that. Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start playing that whenever I have a honeydew list of shit to do around the house.
No. I mean, like Jerry Goldsmith is definitely like he's a classic Hollywood composer.
Yeah.
He's been involved like with so many great films. As a matter of fact, actually, like after rewatching this for this podcast, I came across Small Soldiers.
Yeah, that's another good one from Joe Dante.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hence why I'm bringing it up. I brought up. I rewatched Small Soldiers, and there's obviously a lot of recurring things that are that are in every single one of his movies. Like it seems like Dick Miller is in every single one of his fucking movies that he does.
Dick Miller and Robert Picardo. And
there's always some kind of sound from World of Worlds, even like Small Soldiers, which was made in the mid '90s or something like that.
Yeah.
There's I can't remember exactly which scene it was, but if you listen to it, there are sound effects from World of Worlds. That movie must have touched Joe Dante in a certain way, like that.
Oh shit! All those movies did.
It caused him to and it must have been a great influence to him because it's in every single one of his movies.
There's a scene inside the movie where they're in the drive-in theater and they're also playing a movie in the drive-in theater, like an old movie where you can see the paper flying saucers in space. Robert Picardo plays this man named Star Killer. It's old cheesy movie because that is Joe Dante's style. He loves those movies. That's what he grew up on.
Yep.
And you can hear all those sound effects. And also at the end of the movie, which I'm going too fast, but like I said, everybody who's listening to this podcast, you have to watch the movie. I'm not going to go all the way down it. You know the scenes I'm talking about. Basically the ending scene when Wok, who also played by Robert Picardo, which is the aliens that they meet, you can hear all the sound effects from the old movies from the 50s and 60s playing all throughout the background because the aliens were raised by watching TV from the generation over here, and that's how they figured what humans were like by watching all the movies and how aliens were treated and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I'm sure was probably meant to be kind of to sort of show a mirror to the way that kids were being raised at that time in the 80s, where a lot of those kids were being raised by television, and those aliens were meant to kind of show that.
But there was a lot of stuff that this movie wasn't finished. This movie was never finished. In fact, the studio really rushed him to finish this. Dante and his editing team submitted a rough cut by the late spring of 1985, but Paramount wanted to take advantage of the busy summer market. They changed the initial release date of late August to early July. They said, just stop editing the picture and we're going to put it out. We got a perfect date for it, and we know we're going to make a lot of money. It's all they wanted was the money. They didn't even care about what was going on. He had all these scenes filmed that he never even used. Now, you guys remember the scene at the drive-in theater, and you saw the teenagers inside the car? That was supposed to be Ben's older brother. That he was completely cut out. It was a complete plot cut out because there's a whole dinner. Because I watched all the deleted scenes of this movie, and there was a whole scene where Ben, being the dreamer that he is trying to talk to his parents at the table with his brother making fun of him and how he's writing a letter trying to go to space camp, and his father doesn't even care. So it shows what he wants to do. He wants to get out there. He wants to see, space and see what's out there and beyond and everything else.
Which I don't think it was necessarily needed. It with what was already left in the film, it completely implied the dreamer aspect that he already was.
Yeah, but the thing is, Joe Dante was trying to go for a more spiritual feel in this film, and it ended up being cut up so much that there's scenes unfinished that you can tell that the movie is completely rushed, especially at the end. What did you guys think of the aliens at the end of the movie? I mean, seriously, did you think they were really corny? Do you think that they were worth watching? I mean, seriously, if you were to relate to aliens in other movies from the 80s, what would you think?
I think it would have been better if it was Predators in there.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Just a completely out of left field
Oh
twist.
my God, I could just imagine it now that they're being pulled up. So I'm thinking of Predators now, where they're actually pulling up in their spaceship, they're getting to the ship, and then they're dropped on a planet full of predators.
Exactly.
Three
It would have been
boys being
amazing.
hunted down by predators. Wow,
This
that's
is
actually a good story right there.
Wonderful, heartfelt, coming of age film, and then all of a sudden, fight for their lives.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
Me personally, I liked it. I really did. Was it corny? Yeah, of course it was, but it's the 80s, and this is a family-friendly, kid-friendly kind of a movie. For what it was, I thought it was good. I thought it was cute. I was entertained by it.
I love the lines. What do you guys think? Robert Ricardo did a good job at
Yes.
the alien.
Yes.
I loved one of the lines he said, because you know how they base the human lives on TV, where he said, "I watched 4 episodes of Lassie before I figured out why the little hairy kid never spoke." I mean, he wrote over, sure he did, that's fine, but I don't think he deserved a series for that. I thought that was kind of funny.
No, man, so the first half of the movie kind of built up. So like all these expectations about what they're gonna find when they finally they built the spaceship and they got into space and they went to where these aliens were supposed to be. Like there were so many expectations about what they were gonna find, and I feel like that the aliens that they did find were a huge letdown. They're like these cartoon characters,
Yeah.
and
they're cartoon characters, but they're also basing themselves off of the TV that they saw. They saw Looney Tunes and all that stuff.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean their actual physical appearance and in the way that their dad, which he didn't give a fuck about American TV or Earth TV or anything like that. Like he wasn't raised the same way that his kids were. Like the aliens themselves, their physical appearance was a cartoon character. Like the female, she just had this cartoon alien appearance.
Yeah.
So did Walk. And then the dad shows up, whatever, and he's standing there with his hands on his hips, and then he's tapping his foot, and he's got this plumber's
Big belly,
belt,
yeah,
this plumber's belt on with this beer gut and everything like that, and it seemed very, very cartoonish. It's these kids they had these dreams, and they built this machine, and they went through all this trouble, whatever, to get to space and to meet these aliens, whatever, and what they found to me was a huge fucking letdown. And I feel like the last half of the movie is a disgrace. I really, really, really would have hoped that they would have met these aliens, and maybe perhaps it even would have been satisfying if the aliens had just as many questions as they did. Well, hey, do you guys know what the meaning of the universe is? No, we were kind of hoping that you would.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we were thinking.
Because they're kids. That's the thing. The aliens were kids.
I really appreciate the fact that they were kids. When they first meet them and they're acting all silly and everything like that, I'm like, okay. But then once you slowly start to realize, no, these are fucking children also, and they have the same wants and hopes and dreams that we do as fucking Earthlings.
Sexual fucking urges,
bro.
That.
Okay, also how weird, Darren, man. You don't remember Darren when his fucking line says, "Maybe it's a bunch of Amazon rainforest women who want to breed a new race." Yeah. That's what the kid was expecting.
Well, no, what was the female alien's name? Walk sister or whatever, Neek or something like that.
Yeah, and she had a thing for Wolfgang.
Fuck yeah, dude, but Wolfgang should have beat them fucking cheeks, dude. She wanted it so bad. She was touching him and everything like that, rubbing on his arm and everything like that with those weird ass suction cups.
So much like the female gremlin.
Oh wow! I didn't even expect that.
You're right. As I was rewatching it, I was like, looks just like that female fucking gremlin.
Yeah, because they both had the pink eyeshadow with the big lashes.
Everything was right there. The hair, the way it was.
You are right about that. The whole cartoony and how extremely cartoony it was.
But even E.T., his race of aliens looked fucking ridiculous.
See, a lot of people got scared of E.T. You know that scene?
Why? What's there to be scared of? That freak.
There's a scene that people actually hate is seeing E.T. spread out on the fucking creek when he's all pale and white and dying.
Yeah,
that scared a lot of people. That actually fucking fucking scared a lot of kids. Like, oh, what the fuck is that?
It's also just really sad because because you've kind of because at that point you've kind of become accustomed to ET and kind of become endeared to him. And then great
movie.
And then you see him kind of pale and nearly lifeless, laying in in this.
Yeah, you're seeing somebody that dying.
Yeah,
yeah. And then later on, he's in the lab and he's just like Elliot, and he's fucking dying, and you're like, it really pulls at your heart. You're like, oh my god, ET's dying.
Oh yeah.
And it really was sad. The part of ET that scared the fuck out of me as a kid because I believe that movie was made before I was even born. So when I saw it for the first time, I was probably very, very young.
It was 1982, I believe.
It was definitely before my time. However, the scene where Elliot finds him in the cornfield and he has the light shine on him, they're both screaming or something like that. That scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, the way that he screamed,
then that scared the shit out of me because he it was this very, very high tension kind of moment. He's out there with the flashlight trying to find out what that noise was. And he's screaming, Elliot's screaming or something like that. It fucking got me as a child. But beyond that, E.T. was not really a scary alien at all.
No, he wasn't. And these aliens, when you compare them to E.T. and these aliens, there's a complete difference. But that's the thing that's really talked about in this movie is how I'd say the first 3/4 of this movie is amazing. I mean, it's really adventurous seeing these kids go up into space. And then when you get to the last 15, 20 minutes, it's like, what? What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, but again, it's cute. It's a kids movie. I was still entertained by it.
Okay, well, you remember Flight of the Navigator? I mean, Pee Wee Herman playing the fucking Navigator. What did you all think of that? I mean, what did you all think of Flight of the Navigator? Did you see that one?
No, I mean, I haven't rewatched it in a while, so
I remember.
I honestly can't speak on it.
I remember Flight of the Navigator. One of the scenes that I will never forget that really stuck with me as a kid was the part where he gets in a spaceship and they go flying off for a little bit, which seems like a very short period of time, and he comes back and he tries to go home, and the people that answer the door adults that don't know who the fuck he is, and turns out
he jumped in time basically.
Yeah, that particular part of the movie stuck with me because it was so sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, if that happened to me, that would be so fucked,
Yeah.
It was a sad moment. That was the only thing that really I remember from that movie.
Well, see, this also relates to the movies. When you have the three kids that are adventurous, you think of the Goonies. I mean, the Goonies, I think, is a great example of one of the best movie of the 80s of a whole bunch of kids getting together for an adventure like that.
So the Goonies is one of those reasons why I used to go in the woods and go exploring. So I think I was going to find a cool cave with a fucking pirate ship in it. And I remember relatively recently, I forget why, but my wife and I thought it would be a good idea to put Goonies on for our kids. And I was like, oh yeah, it's Goonies, it'd be fine. And the kids calling the other kid penis breath and shit. And then my son's like, what's that mean? And I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, shit. I mean, I think that movie, the word shit is said in that movie at least 20 or 30 times.
Yeah,
from the kids themselves.
As a kid when I saw it, I mean, I don't know, because my parents were not nearly as strict or as aware of the type of content and shit that I was watching. So it was whatever. But then I'm as an adult now, I've got kids, and my kids are not of an appropriate age to be hearing shit like penis breath or people saying shit every 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the scene with the little fucking statue figurine thing and the fucking dick breaks off and they're trying to glue it back on.
Yes. No, if you're going to glue it like that, God would be making us be pissing in our faces.
Yeah, dude. That whole thing, I shortly after that, I had to turn it off because I was like, I don't even know. I have a list of shit I've got to try to explain to my kids now.
So what age do you think would be the right time to show them that film?
Maybe 12.
So
13.
Would you say that this film is good for your kids to watch? I mean, would you say there's anything in this film?
Honestly, this film, yeah. There's a couple of times that they say a couple of phrases that might spark a discussion a little bit, but other than that, overall, I think this would definitely be more appropriate than fucking Goonies.
Yeah.
What about the scene where Ethan Hunt is committing that horrible crime of being a peeping Tom on that
guy? That's what?
Honestly,
man, I gotta say though, in that scene, there was an element of innocence in it. Like he just wants to see her. He thinks she's beautiful. He's not like, oh man. He's not like, it's not necessarily. It's not completely sexually driven.
He's like perched on the fucking branch, like beating
But
off. Like,
but you know damn well,
monkey.
If when he had floated up in that fucking bubble, if she was undressing or something like that, he would be whipping it out and fucking jerking it.
Or he would.
Let me ask you: would you be doing the same thing?
The silence says it all.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
You're like, wait, okay, so.
Now? No, I would not do it now. If I see a fucking like 11-year-old girl, no. Let me make that clear and present. No, I would not do it.
Well, no, as a kid, man. As a kid, I'm not talking about as a fucking adult.
So, yeah.
All right.
I really don't want to picture like Ethan Hawke at that age beating off. But I would say if he saw her like that, he'd be like, oh, wow. He'd be like really like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fascinated and interested.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily.
I feel funny in my pants.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't think he would necessarily be like having all like the gross thoughts that us disgusting, dirty creatures known as men have. But overall,
how old were they?
I want to say they were
12 or 13.
Yeah, they're like right in their adolescence,
like preteens, basically.
Yeah, the story is definitely like a coming of age tale,
like late middle school, 7th, 8th grade, or something like that.
Like
I know when I was in 7th, 8th grade, I was already messing around.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene that was also cut out. There was a whole birthday scene for the female character, basically, where everybody was there. Even the bully was there, and it was just going through the whole thing. It was right after they did their first flight, so they haven't gone up to see the aliens yet. And Ben actually goes over to her, and they sit with her, and he pulls out a moon ring to give her for a birthday gift. And she was like, she looked at it and she wasn't all that impressed. And then he all of a sudden just starts to kiss her. And just jumps up and kisses her. And then she starts to get into it. And then she pushes him away. And then she says, no, I don't have feelings like that for you. So it kind of shows that she never cared for
until
him.
The aliens planted that shit in her fucking head. And she wants them.
Yeah, but then
man.
At the end, right at the end, when you see all flying in the sky after they're, in the dream and everything, and you see him and her flying, doing the whole little Superman Lois Lane type of thing. There is a shot that was cut where she was wearing his ring. Joe Dante regretted taking this scene out. He was so mad that he took it out because it actually explained the whole love thing between him and Lori.
Okay.
So that she felt she actually did like Ben, but didn't want to say anything.
See, the aliens, dude, sometimes it's cool to have a friend to help you get the hookups. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
alien put a good word in.
Yeah, put a good word as in fucking implant fucking shit into your fucking crusted brain.
Hey, man, he's helping his bro out, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's helping his bro out.
So this
was a form of rape.
So this movie was released on July 12th, 1985 on 1,750 theaters, but it turned out to be the same weekend as the Live Aid concert and also a week before Back to the Future came out. So it made no money at all. It was a complete flop. By the end of its run in theaters, it only earned about $9,873 and change.
Well, it's not like a blockbuster film. It's a...
Well, see, the thing is, that's what the studio was going for, but the studio rushed it so much and had him... He never got to finish the film. There was a lot of stuff that he had to do a lot of... what's the thing when they record sound of dialogue? Overdub or what is it?
Yeah. It's like it's dubbing or something like that.
Yeah, to fix some of the scenes, like that whole ending scene when they're at the tree. Remember at the end of the movie?
Yeah, because there's always scenes like where for whatever reason like they
give us some closure.
Well, they kind of like point their faces away from the microphone or whatever, and like in the audio kind of goes in and out, just much like when we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
So like there's definitely some moments where they have to kind of like go back in post production and kind of clean up some of the audio.
But overall, man, the movie, it was a complete flop. But then over the years, it became a cult status through VHS and kids through this age, like around our age. I mean, you guys remember watching this when you were younger?
Yes.
Like what when was the last time you remember watching this? Like early 90s?
Well, the last time I remember watching this probably last week.
No, I'm talking about as a kid. Oh my God.
True story.
As a kid.
Shit, I must have been 10 maybe.
10 years old?
Yeah, that feels right to me.
And were you a fan of it all that much?
No, it was good, but it wasn't. You are, I know, absolutely enamored with this film.
Yeah.
That locked you in, to the nostalgia factor. 100%, which is fine.
Now, would
but
you
it did
from
not catch me that way.
Now, if from a view right now, what do you think? Do you think this is a good film, or do you think this has got it's too flawed of a film? I mean,
No, I think it's an uplifting film. It tells a good story. The acting is decent.
Yeah.
The writing is okay. The effects are okay for the time period.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah. No, it holds up.
See, that's another thing I wanted to bring up is that how this movie wasn't finished is you remember the scene where the alien's wearing basically like a fur coat around his neck? That the whole reason of that is because the costume wasn't finished. The neck wasn't finished. So they had to put that on there. So that's the whole reason. Plus, when the kids first got into the to film inside the ship, the concrete and the paint was still wet and getting on the kids. They were actually falling through the concrete of the bottom of the ship.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I was just right now looking up, since we were talking about Goonies and we're talking about how much money Explorers made. How much money do you guys think Goonies made at the box office?
I mean, like for how much we talk about it nowadays, whatever, I would have to assume that was pretty successful.
Well, it was around the same time, so about made 10, 11 million.
What do you think, buddy?
$1 million. I don't fucking know, man.
$124 million.
I was closest.
Box office gross.
I was closest.
Really?
Worldwide.
Well, you know why? Because it had the Steven Spielberg name on it.
Yep.
That's why.
It had a budget of $19 million. So its budget was more than what the box office gross of Explorers was.
Well, it was a huge hit. Well, I understand that, but I mean, you got to remember how it was released. It was released during the Live Aid and went Back to the Future.
No. I'm not arguing that. It's staggering to me because this was a good film. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed Goonies more.
Oh yeah, no, I believe everybody does, but
did I enjoy it $9 million versus $124 million more? Probably not that much more.
Yeah.
I was just shocked. I was just curious. That's why I was looking that up. Is when you're talking about it, is yes, it may have been a flop, but in how big of a flop was it? And when you go up something like that, that's a fucking massive goddamn flop. Then
now, if there was a way that you can change the ending of this movie to make it better, what do you think would have been a better ending? Do you think something more serious would have been better, or do you think that the whole comedy was like? What do you think would have been a better ending? Because the original, I can, after you guys give me your opinion, I can tell you what the original author had in its idea.
A sequel. I mean, it totally set up a sequel, 100%. By that ending, it was talking about can't see. Look how big this thing is. It's super complicated. I wonder what this is going to do. And them all flying and looking forward to their next adventure together.
Well, the original ending in the script was the boys were going to go to Mars and meet an ancient alien race which is dying, and the aliens give them all the secrets of the universe, and then they become marooned on Mars like a Robinson Crusoe, basically. That's what the original ending was going to be. That's what the writer had in mind, and Joe Dante did not like it, so he came up with this whole cartoon ending, basically, on this. So what do you think of that?
That was, so the whole... The cartoonish aliens was Joe Dante's idea.
Yes, it was, but he also there was
my impression was that it was
that works better than the what was set up as far as being transmitting the the stuff and getting them to build everything,
the whole science behind it too. And
that would work a lot better to me than what the child aliens would have done.
You think that would have been a better ending? Yeah. See, because
I say it's a better ending, but it would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
With what they had set up,
especially with the whole about getting the secrets of the universe into a dying race. Because it's a completely different ending. Joe Dante just didn't like it. He didn't care for it. He actually liked the whole idea about the aliens being enamored with our television, basically seeing how we are through all these movies, and also showing how aliens were treated in all these movies. What are the movies that they portray in War of the Worlds, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah. I mean, shit, there was some lizard movie. I mean, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, all you people do is blow things up.
Yep,
that was their whole their.
So you think it was trying to give a political message, basically? In the movie?
Definitely. Yeah. I think there was definitely some undertones about children being raised on television and commercials. And then, of course, the news coverage of that time, where there was it was constantly about war and everything, and there's always references back to, World War II and in the Vietnam War, and of course in the 80s there was the Cold War was still at its peak. So I can definitely see like how there was like this impression from some sort of outside world that like that. Well, all you do is like all you people do like is blow things up, and I think there was a political message that was, I don't know, I guess deemed to be more important than the kids actually like like finding something and learning something. I don't know. Like, do you think there was a moral of the story? Do you guys think that the kids actually learned something at the end of this movie? Like, do you think like they came?
Well, from what I could tell, Ben was confused the whole time. Like he was not expecting what he saw. He was expecting to be like. We come in peace, and acting all like from Kirk from Star Trek and
he
stuff like that.
He expected something more sophisticated than what he found.
And then he saw the first thing that the first line that Walk says is a scene from Bugs Bunny. What's happening?
What's up, Doc?
Yeah, it's like
that's like
and you just see Ben just looking around like what the fuck? It didn't make any sense. So
it's the last,
honestly,
the last
man,
thing that you want to hear from an alien. Like, we like. So Star Trek nerds. So you guys like watch the movie First Contact for whatever opinions you have of that film, whatever.
Fucking great one.
What would you imagine if the Vulcans came off that ship and the first thing they fucking said was like, "Nah, what's up, Doc?" Like, how much of a fucking letdown would that be?
I'd be very confused for the fact that
it wouldn't have made sense.
Why is he quoting Bugs motherfucking Bunny?
Yeah, something's wrong here.
Hold on. Are we talking about First Contact right now? Or are we talking about
No, he's talking about in First Contact when the Vulcans come down and basically they get to see the first contact with the first alien race.
Oh yeah.
And then right when they put their hands up, say, how you doing? And they go, "Hey, what's up, Doc?"
You know what? I was thinking of the movie Contact.
Oh my God!
No, I mean, no. All right. So,
that's another one.
No, that's actually good. That's actually a good movie to bring up because I think at one point in time, you and I had talked about that, where there's actually a lot of parallels between First Contact and this film, where the first half of the movie, there's all this build up, all these expectations about these, what are these aliens going to be like? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? And and this movie was a huge fucking letdown. Whereas with the First Contact, it wasn't as much of a letdown, but it was still a letdown because Jodie Foster goes she goes through this portal and she goes to this other world and it's basically meant to look like Earth and to emulate our own people, whatever, to be more acceptable to
not break our brain.
Yeah, exactly. Not to break her brain, whatever. Which is understandable, but at the same time, it's still let down because you still expect something alien. You still expect something different. And in this movie, it was incredibly fucking different. They were these cartoonish characters, but their message was it was a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, you're right on that. And I remember me and you talking about that.
Now, what do you think realistically? If the aliens did come down here, landed, came out, what do you think the average human's response is going to be to that motherfucker coming and landing in their field?
So, is your question what is our response going to be?
Or what is our response?
I will say
please, what can you tell us about the universe?
You know what? I know what it is. I know what it is. We throw the dove in the air. Remember that?
Oh, fuck off! God.
All right,
we come in peace.
I hate
Hold
you
on,
so much.
I'm gonna jump in here because I haven't had.
We come in peace.
I haven't said a few things, so I'm gonna say first of all,
that was a good one though.
I didn't get a chance to talk about the ending of the movie. I think that the kid from Stand By Me fucking the alien would have been cool. Second of all, yeah, I'm getting raw.
An ugly fucking baby.
All that build up for that.
We're getting fucking raw, folks. All right, as far as Contact's concerned, the whole fucking thing with I will agree with Tyler on the fact that it was a letdown, and a good analogy or a good description of that letdown was when fucking Mr. Garrison got his fucking face busted up and had to have his face fixed on South Park, and the doctor's describing what they did and all the gruesome shit he's saying. None of it fucking makes him throw up.
Oh, my God.
Until he goes, by the way, have you seen that movie Contact? And he fucking starts blowing chokes, and he goes, I waited until the end of that fucking movie, and the alien was his goddamn fucking father. Like, he was fucking upset. So, yeah, obviously there is a slight element of disappointment when the alien starts talking. And the kids are like, what the fuck, man? I was expecting something a lot more sophisticated, something a lot more official. You know what I mean? And instead of whatever the fuck this is, it was very kind of informal. And
they're doing a whole musical number with Little Richard. I mean,
but basically what that whole scene and all that was that the aliens were showing that in a way they admire us because they watch all the cool, entertaining shit that we do.
But they were also afraid of us, and that's why they brought these 3 boys, because they saw that they were dreamers. They weren't like everybody else in the movies, so that's why they brought them up.
But that's the cool thing, is that they can be afraid of humans, but they also know at the same time that not all humans are like the shit that they see.
Yeah.
That there's good and bad in every species. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah.
You're going to find good and bad in everything. And these 3 boys were a shining example of that. All 3 of them were good-hearted kids. And these 2 aliens in themselves, out of their curiosity, turned out to just be kind of kids themselves. And, you know, this is how they kind of learned about humans. And they were just showing them, hey, this is what we know about you guys. This is all we have.
Yeah.
The whole aspect of these 2 kids being sophisticated enough and having the ability to send blueprints via dreams to these kids so that they could figure out a way to make a ship or make a
I thought that was actually pretty cool. Actually.
It was cool, but not totally believable.
It was all scientific, too.
But
I
at
mean,
the
it was
same
bringing
time,
up things like inertia and all that stuff.
But at the same time, again, you're talking about, you're going to be fast and loose about certain things when it comes to science and everything else, because it's sci-fi. Whenever you have sci-fi, the science behind things and the way that the things are explained or understood are going to be, you know, it's not going to be, obviously this movie is just a fun, entertaining movie, because if that technology actually existed, we would have used it by now to travel the universe and done all these things.
Yeah.
But it was actually very interesting, because I remember you bringing up this movie for us to watch, and I couldn't for the life of me remember. I was like, how the fuck do they explain 3 normal-ass kids going into, like, the furthest depths of the galaxy and meeting aliens? Like, and then I started to remember as I was watching it.
Yeah.
So I know that was a question that you asked earlier I didn't get a chance to answer. I want to say I was, like, maybe my son's age. I was somewhere around 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
When I saw this movie. And so I had a very, 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 very vague memory of it.
You're not the only one. See, I've asked a lot of people about this movie, and it says, I think I remember that. And then and all I have to say is 3 kids that build a spaceship and go to space. Oh, I remember that movie. God, I haven't seen that in the longest time. I mean, every kid has seen it, because I'm sure it's been on TV, you know, all cut up and everything else, the TV version, or it's probably even played on Disney, because Disney played a lot of movies that were not even owned by Disney on the Disney Channel and stuff like that. I remember Goonies played on the Disney Channel.
It's one of those things that
cut up to fuck too. It was like really cut up.
It's
it had
one of
the
those
octopus
things
scene
that
in it.
you can bring up that movie.
It had the octopus scene?
Yes, I watched Goonies on the Disney Channel, where they cut all the language, but they added the fucking octopus scene that was near the pirate ship. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, where they take the Walkman and they put the Walkman inside, because the octopus is all about to attack them all.
Okay.
And they who's got the Walkman? One of the kids, I think it's Mouth, I believe, has the Walkman, and they stuff it in the octopus's mouth, and then they put the headphones, and then you could see the octopus, the fake octopus, riding off with the headphones, because it's scared of the music and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that was inserted in there. That was a deleted scene from Goonies.
So,
well, I was going to say, similar to Goonies, or like the movie that we're featuring right now, Explorers. It's anyone that's our age. Explorers is one of those movies that people would identify with, or have some recollection of. Just like if you were to say TGIF, every last one of us was like, "Oh yeah,
thank God it's Friday."
Fucking Friday, they had that block.
Family Matters, Stand By Me.
See, booyah.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I remember all that.
Yes, it wasn't Stand By Me. It was Step by Step.
Step by whatever. Step by step.
Step by Step.
Not
Dinosaurs was on there.
Yeah, I know.
And then 2020 would come on. Actually, I got to a certain age where I actually appreciated that show too, and I'd sit and watch 2020. But anyways.
Or Full House.
It's part of it? Full House was a part of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers. Yeah, dude. See, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
So all that stuff, and this movie and like the Goonies and that is definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, for those of you that are listening, if you haven't seen Explorers, or if you haven't seen Explorers and you're our age, definitely check it out.
No, I think it's a
that
great
your kids
film.
would probably like watching it too.
I won't lie. I showed this movie to my kids, and they were like, "It was okay," which I was kind of shocked. I thought they were going to love it. I was like, "This is one of my favorite movies as a kid. You're going to love it,
Daddy.
And
you got bad taste."
That's basically
well,
what
it's
my
just
daughter
the
said.
special effects nowadays. A kid sees something like Explorers, and they're like,
"No," because I
Man.
showed them Goonies, and they fucking loved that one.
Oh, they loved. Okay.
Oh, they loved the Goonies. You see, I let my kids watch that. So.
The Truffle Shuffle.
How do you think that they would respond, Lenny, or Earthlings would respond, the average person, if aliens landed here to make contact with us? What is your belief that our response would be?
Initially, blind fear. Unfortunately, and this is universal with
curiosity.
I will say that universally, though, if you look at not just human beings but creatures in general, the fear of the unknown is very much like, I'll give you a great example. Try and approach a deer. Mm-hmm. Try it. It's not going to fucking happen. Why? Because of blind fear. They don't know what your intentions are. And most creatures, be it extremely basic to be very intelligent like ourselves, if you don't know what the intention is of another species or another thing, your initial reaction or your initial go-to is going to be danger.
Yeah.
Because it's a survival thing. Because my thing is this. If an alien shows up and they're peaceful and I don't know that and I treat them as if they're dangerous and I run the other way, I'm safe. If they land and they do have ill intentions and I run away, I'm still safe. Either way, my life and my ability to survive is still going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think that unfortunately the initial reaction for most people or most creatures of any kind is blind fear of the unknown.
Oh, it's you, Ron?
I just think the curiosity, and I think that we would really stand our ground. Basically, would be very protective, and I think it would be a big shock. I mean, because we've never had anything like that happen. Because I know that right now they're starting to release all this footage about UFOs and all that stuff that the government's releasing. And
I think that's crap.
You really think it's crap?
I think it's crap. I think it's just a grab for attention. I don't fucking believe it.
Like a distraction.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that could be another point. Yeah, but I mean, curiosity. But I do know that no matter what, I think we would be extremely protective because of everything that's gone on in the last couple decades and everything else. So
absolutely.
How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, dude. So I think it'd be absolutely split down the middle, just like everything else in this in our society. Like there would be a group of people that was very, very welcoming and very curious of this alien species. There would be another half that was very, very skeptical and immediately defensive. Start arming up and everything like that. Like there would be a
end of days
call for military. Yeah, like overall, I think there'd be like a lot of panic. I think like there'd be a lot of empty shelves of toilet paper and a lot of empty gas stations. Like just like
you would see Independence Day.
That's fucking great. No, it's very Independence Day is a perfect example.
Because you see the people that are on the top of the thing and they're all like welcome and bring back
like
Elvis.
A dumb stripper
but then you
bitch.
see other people like going and like trying to leave town and everything.
And
else.
who fucking survived? Not the people on the tower going, I hope they bring back Elvis.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, stupid dumb bitch. And then they end up getting exploded. I've said my piece. Continue. Sorry.
So, good questions, dude. How about your answer? What's about your answer on that?
Okay, I believe they land in about 60 to 75% of this country. They land in somebody's backyard or field or something like that. Star Trek Enterprise, their explanation of how the mirror universe started is what I believe would actually happen. So in the prime timeline, they show Ephraim Cochrane, being the one that the Vulcans land, and they exchange, greetings to. Enterprise, they showed it going down a little bit differently. As soon as the Vulcans land and come out and live long and prosper, Ephraim goes up and he pulls a shotgun on them. He fucking kills them, blows them a fucking way. And then he takes the fucking ship, and that's what thereby kicked off the entire Earth dominance in the Star Trek mirror universe. Right. I have a feeling if a unknown force lands in about 60 to 75% of this country, that the reaction is going to be a armed reaction, an armed protection to go on the defensive and protecting of our lands.
Yes, that's
like you were saying. But I think it's going to be a much more violent reaction. We would all like to say we're going to be enlightened and we're going to be welcoming and help us. But ultimately, we are still very tribal protective creatures, and we have to protect what is ours, what is our families, and our first instinct against an unknown force is to repel it.
Okay.
by any means necessary.
All right, I have. We're going to close here in a second, but I want to ask a question to you guys, and it's not related to the movie, but it is related to extraterrestrials. Do you guys believe there's something out there? Because that's a good question to bring up. I mean, this
Mathematically, in my mind, there has to be.
There has to be.
Well,
it's a big galaxy out there. There's plenty of room for. I mean,
yes.
What's that? What's that? Where's that? Is that from Contact?
Contact. Yep.
Is that from? There's plenty of room
It'd be
out
an
there.
awful waste of space.
Yes. Yeah.
Contact.
So I mean, do you
how
believe,
large the universe is? It's scientifically damn near impossible there not to be at least some form of other intelligent life. Now, how far along they are, don't know.
Yeah.
But just the fact of the vastness and how everything can evolve, the random rolls of the dice and everything that goes along, just taking out intelligent design, taking out all of that out of the equation, just the fact of how often things are going to happen. It's going to, whatever has happened will happen somewhere else at another time. The random coincidence of atoms and everything else will make another thing happen.
How about you, Tyler?
So there's a lot of layers to that, man. So I absolutely agree that it would be like a real waste of space for there to be so many like stars amongst the galaxies. So many stars amongst the galaxies, and like and so on and so forth, and like we're not really sure like if the universe like is ever expanding or it's ever like like it's ever expanding like and then like inverting on itself or like it's kind of like a donut or what like whatever it is because there's a lot of theories out there like on basically the absolute nature of the universe, like if it's ever expanding or if there's multiple universes. It would definitely be a huge waste of space if there was nothing else out there.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been camping or like are kind of gone like way outside like the city or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, when you're away from the city to the point where you could see all the stars and see how good. Yes, when I was out at Bell's Isle, I got to see that. Yeah. It's so different. It's beautiful. Yeah. Fucking beautiful because you're away from the city and you could see the stars so much better. You can see everything up there. It's grand, man. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, when there's no light pollution, like like you can really see like how many stars are out there because even here like like we're in the suburbs, you can go outside like and you can kind of get like a fairly decent idea of how many stars are out there, but it's not anywhere close.
Yeah.
Recently there was an image posted from like one of the Mars rovers, and with Mars like, there's even less of an atmosphere out there. There's absolutely no lights whatsoever. The images of how many stars and the clear image of the Milky Way was astounding.
Yeah.
I mean, like there was more white from stars and the Milky Way than there was blackness from space.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking insane. Like how many stars there are. And then you get into like take like the span of Earth. Like like Earth is roughly like 4 billion years old or something like that. Like and then you take like the last 400 million years, or I think it is like that. We've had life on this earth, everything from amoebas to crustaceans to to the most like basic life forms up until humans. And humans have only been around for roughly about 2 million years or something like that. Everything from because I know like Homo erectus was around for about 2 million years, and they had a very very long lifespan.
Yeah.
And then I believe humans have been around for about Homo sapiens have been around for I think 250,000 years, something like that. Point is that over the span of Earth and then over the span of the universe, which is about 14 billion years old, we're talking about a literal split second.
Yes.
For the span of of human existence, amongst the universe.
Yeah.
So the problem is that now what other species are out there? How advanced are they? Have they advanced to the point to where they've destroyed themselves, which is what everybody thinks is going to happen here. Everybody thinks that we're going to eventually destroy themselves, and that absolutely deserves merit. It does. We're getting to a point to where we're either going to destroy ourselves because of nuclear war, we're going to destroy ourselves because of developing a virus and unleashing it. There's a lot of ways we can destroy ourselves, and how many other civilizations have done that before?
Right.
Because it's we have dozens and fucking dozens. We have hundreds of of civilizations now, and and it only takes one. It only takes one to destroy everything, to unfucking do everything.
Yep.
So how many other worlds have done that?
You got a point.
And then
there.
you get into like is there are there multiple dimensions? Like, like I know Neil deGrasse Tyson had talked about, about sort of, he had this analogy of of how the world works, like these, the world that as we understand it now, there's like this 3-dimensional world, like as our sheets of paper, or whatever, like on a table. And then but what if you turned over like one of the sheets of paper, or whatever, and it was a doorway to another world? That's the 4th dimension.
Yeah.
And then you have dimensions, within dimensions, and they have thousands and millions of worlds or whatever, and stars, whatever beyond that. The absolute chances that there is nothing else out there is actually incredibly small.
No, I agree with you on that, because it's like I said, it like that whole line in contact. It's just so much space out there. Why would we be just a little planet in this huge galaxy and there's nothing else out there?
Yeah,
there's just no way.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's so much else. There's so much else out there. There's so much possibility for there's something else to be out there. Whatever. However, the likelihood of there being another higher intelligence that's about the same level that we are, and how far away are they? How are they so far away that they would never reach us anyways?
Yeah.
It's sort of hopeful and depressing all at the same time, because there's a high possibility there's something out there at some point in time throughout history, but are they even remotely close enough for us to even come into contact with them?
Yeah,
and
probably not
developed, because I firmly believe there's nothing in our galaxy, no other intelligent life in our galaxy. Firmly believe that. We would have seen some signs by now. So that means that they're going to be outside of the galaxy. Yeah. So if they're outside of the galaxy, then in order for them to realistically have the ability to come and visit us, they've had to figure out some form of propulsion that breaks all of our understandings of physics right now, whether it's going faster than time or going faster than light, or bending time, or whatever the case may be. They've had to develop some sort of propulsion that would make them realistically eons beyond us.
Yeah.
And then if they had come to visit us, why haven't they made it known? If they made this trek, made this effort to come to us, why wouldn't they make it known? And if I've heard the argument that, well, they could view us like bugs, where they don't care what we think.
Yeah.
And if they don't care what we think, then they would treat us the same way we treat ants in a anthill, or mice in the lab. The mice and the ants, they see us. They see us messing around. We just don't give a fuck that they see us. Yeah. And we don't care and bother trying to communicate with them. But we don't also try to hide our presence there in any way, shape, or form.
There was somebody like you said once that there are things out there that we have no understanding of, and may never understand. And they use the analogy of try to explain the internet to a dog.
Yeah.
And that's fair, because there are probably things out there that we have that are far beyond our understanding, and are far beyond our cognitive ability to even have somebody try to break it down and explain to us, it's just try to explain the internet to a dog, and that is the degree of things that are out there that we have no hope of even understanding.
That's I love both your opinions on that. I love that. Your whole opinions about what you think of life out there. That's great. Lenny?
I like purple.
just say the line from our old episode, Tommy Boy.
Sinner.
That's
I know what line. What are you talking about? Aliens. It's possible. Next question.
No, do you believe that? Do you believe that there's life out there?
Fuck, of course I do, man. Here's the thing. Yes, there is what they said in Contact. Matthew McConaughey, all right, was trying to seduce Jodie Foster and get in her panties, which he did.
Yeah.
And he said that whole line of, if there's nothing out there, it'd be an awful waste of space. And I completely agree. There is absolutely no way that there isn't intelligent life out there. It's not. Now, here's the thing. I legitimately believe, there's that theory out there that, there are other beings out there that are way more advanced than we are, that are cruising around doing their thing. And we are not on par with them, and or we are too busy squabbling over our issues and all the bullshit that we have going on at home, that they don't even waste their time with us. Other than occasionally, doing a little bit of research, sticking some things up our bums, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really don't think that it's like people that sit there and go, oh yeah, there's no aliens. It's stupid. Really? That's stupid. That idea is stupid. And yet you look up in the sky. What the fuck exactly are you looking at right now?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Stars. Every one of those stars, every last fucking one of them has got a solar system full of other planets. And you're telling me that the amount of little tiny dots in the sky that you can't even count, they're so fucking numerous, that, oh, by the way, also have anywhere from 1 to a dozen planets circling it. There is not one single fucking planet that has life on it except this one.
That's why I say
that makes no fucking
it's
sense.
huge, man.
Dude, further take it a step further, like the moons of like those planets, because like you have Saturn and Jupiter, which have I believe both of them have well over 25 moons or something like that. Like it's over a dozen, and some of them have actually been looked at for the ability to potentially hold life. I believe one of them was like Titan or something like that.
They found like a frozen,
isn't it like the size of Earth or something like that?
Well, they found like ice, and inside of the ice, there's life. It's frozen in there.
Well, there's water because you look at like a frozen lake or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though like the lake is frozen, like there's still like it gets to a certain point to where it's 12, 24 inches like below that. However, there's still water. There's still like fish living in there throughout the winter and everything like that. So they're kind of wondering like if below this ice on some of these moons, there's not life or whatever still living beneath that ice.
Yeah.
Now the sad thing is that what frustrates me beyond belief, not to get too much into outer space and shit, is that we haven't even fucking reached Mars yet. Like we haven't taken human beings and had them actually land on Mars yet.
Well, I think
Elon
I think that's
Musk,
happening. I think that's happening now.
Yeah,
I
man.
think that's happening now. And aren't they planning a Mars excavation?
They're talking about it.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
planning
They've been fucking talking about it.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I think they have a planned date to do it, like 2023 or something.
That's all I have to say. They haven't fucking done it.
Oh, wow.
And the fact that they're saying that whoever goes there never coming back. Plain and simple.
Well, I think it's like 2 or 3 years just to get there altogether.
They're never coming back. Whoever goes there the first time.
Yeah.
Never come back.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to Elon Musk. He was very, very honest about the whole thing. He's like this is going to be a very treacherous journey. Like people are going to die, and I can appreciate that honesty.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the show right there. We went a little off subject to the point. Well, no, it's the same subject because it's about
the same subject.
It's just I thought that was actually really interesting and how we went off on that. I thought that was really nice. But overall, real quick. Did you guys would give this movie 2 thumbs up? I mean, would you? Or would you give it, because I'm curious.
I give it like 1.
1 thumb up?
Yeah, dude, because we talked about already, like the beginning half of the movie, is very, very well done. It definitely sets up your expectations. However, the second half absolutely just disappoints.
Yeah, I'd have to give it 1 just like I can't put it in the same level I put Goonies.
Okay.
For example.
Lenny?
I'd say 1 thumbs up. I wouldn't put it in the same level as Goonies, but I definitely think it's entertaining and awesome. And disappointing that the guy didn't deflower the alien at the end.
Oh, my God.
Deflower.
Anyways, what I would give it here is I'd give it 2 point of views. I'd give it from my nostalgic view, I'd give it 2 thumbs up because it's one of my favorites. But giving it through a critical view, 1 thumb up. Yeah, because it is flawed. It's the whole ending sucks.
Nostalgia-wise,
I hate the ending, but you know what? I still love the movie altogether. So, but altogether, it was a good experience for when I was a child, and I still watch this movie to this day as an adult, and I still love it. So, all right, well, thanks, guys, for joining us for this podcast. I really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode, which is going to be the classic comedy Tommy Boy, which is going to be Lenny's pick. Are you excited about that one, buddy?
Hell yeah. I love Tommy Boy. Chris Farley is a god.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
Bye. Adios.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to our podcast, Barrel Age Flicks. We are so excited for the upcoming episodes headed your way and bonus episodes of The Small Batch, Sammy Selects, and now the new Tasting Room. If you like our show, please spread the word, give us a like, or leave us some kind of review on any of the social media pages. Give us a follow on Instagram, Barrel Flicks, or Facebook, Barrel Age Flicks. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Radio Public, Audible, Pocket Cast, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and now Pandora. Please shoot us an email at barrelageflix@gmail.com with comments and movie suggestions for future shows or any other things you'd like to let us know. Credit to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio on YouTube. Man, your music is awesome. We thank you so much for that. It's great. You guys go ahead and check him out. I just want to say thank you so much. We hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening. See you then.